Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Rami Makasa, and today I will be talking about inequality present in the community. So, I chose this topic because a lot of people are experiencing this, especially nowadays. I want to stand for them. So, let's begin. Inequality in the community comes in different ways. Inequality in social classes, gender, and etc. It is still present and being experienced by a lot of people. Why we are experiencing this kind of challenge or issue in our community? Is it because a lot of people are so full of themselves? Or is it because they came from a family that doesn't have equality even in their homes? Or is it our government is the main reason why we have inequalities in our community? Inequality in our community has been very evident since the pandemic has started. Just like the ABS-CBN shutdown, 70 representatives have denied the ABS-CBN franchise that causes ABS-CBN to shut down all their operations. ABS-CBN is one of the largest media network in our country. Denying ABS-CBN franchise is a big blow for our press freedom and have taken thousands of Filipinos' work. Inequality in our health workers, or also known as our frontliners, is also evident. Our health workers earn the least among Asian peers. Our government should have at least increased their salary or even add some benefits to our health workers, because in the first place, they are the one who is risking their lives just to save ours. In terms of gender inequality, women and LGBTQ community is the most affected one. Women have been discriminated against in terms of various aspects as compared to male counterparts. They are always gender stereotyping. In my own experience as a girl gamer, I always get to experience inequality. The game hasn't started yet, but my teammate would say, "Ay, talo na kasi may babae. Ganyan talaga kapag may babae," and all that kind of stereotyping. When it comes to LGBT, our LGBTQ community get to hear all the harsh words just because they love someone from the same sex or even in the opposite sex. They say that it is a sin to our Creator and it is not allowed in the Bible. We shouldn't let inequality exist in our community. We are all humans. It means we all should have an equal rights. As early as now, we should stand for our fellow Filipinos who is being oppressed. We have the privilege, so why shouldn't we use it in a meaningful one?
Peace-building initiatives means about dealing with the reason why people fight and supporting societies to manage their differences, resolving the conflict and sorting the violence. For decades, people have underestimated the unapparelled Muslim Moro community in the southern island of the Philippines, which sparked the Bangsamoro struggle, the moment that extended the outdated stride between the government of the Philippines and the Communities Party of the Philippine New People's Army, the Majority Rural Front, the CPP, NPA, and the NTFP in 2014. A piece of bargain was marked between the more Islamic Freedom Front of MILF, the government, but the entry of the peace deals empowering the was-botched and often bluster blurred with the rise of President Rodrigo Duterte, the primary president from Mindanao. Numerous had trusted and anticipated the both peace forms that run easily beneath this organization. The interconnected patterns have since obstruction. The objective is gain not being marginalized, as they have been the national Philippine history ever since it gained the independence 60 years ago. So, these are the root causes of both conflict. I think it is important to highlight that this low-intensity conflict, which are defined as conflict where there are less 100 deaths per year. So, if it has the highest confrontation during the year of dictatorship in the late 70s and the 80s over the last 30 years, these are the conflicts, less than 100 people, so it is the people suffering the intensity of the battle through 50 years. So they suffer poor governance over the years. In short, you need these two things with political implementing, so nobody will win the war over everyone because they both lose. So when the creativity and leadership, there is possibility of the significant role, there is a seek path of peace, which are pursuit of social, economic, and political reforms. Because the consensus building and the empowerment for peace, peaceful negotiable settlement with the different rebel groups, progress for reconciliation into mainstream society, rehabilitation, addressing concern arising from continuing armed hostilities, building and nurturing a climate conducive to peace. In the 6 steps, we can change into peace paths.
Earth, the planet where we live, it is evolving at approximately 4.5 billion years. And in this timeline, the world experienced so many events, namely war, invasion, human evolution, industrial revolution, and so much more, that we, people, are damaging our beloved home. The green land before is now gray and cemented. The mountains are standing vigorously, but now they are injured due to our avarice. These past years, we experienced stronger typhoons, soil dries faster than before, bushfire after bushfire, and so much more disaster that took billions of lives. I am here to lead our movement towards the healing process of our Earth. We will bring back the vitality of our environment. The Philippines is visited by an average of 20 typhoons per year. We are the most hit by a storm. That is why climate change is a hindrance to our development as a country. It is not just that. During La Nina in our country, our farmers experience drought on their fields, and we are an agricultural country. That is why this is a huge impact on our nation. We will communicate to the United Nations Environment Program, or UNEP, on what the possible solutions to this global phenomenon. We will assemble groups that will strictly monitor our environment. We will build greener solutions on our lack of electricity. We will create laws to protect our natural resources. Proper segregation is another thing we can do. I will assure to all of you that I will do a great job in maintaining the beauty of our country, and we will reduce the greenhouse gases, not just for our nation, but also for our planet. I cannot do this all alone. With your vote, the next generation will also benefit from it. So let us make our state greener and livable. Let us go for green.
I am here today to start with you with the long-term problem: corruption of the government. What can be considered as corruption? Once you pursued your own interest against the law, against the people in the country. The dishonest work can be considerable as corruption. We can never know what's in the mind of a person, or what will he sacrifice willingly to do what will benefit him. Whose fault is it? Is it the corrupt official or us, the enabler of them? It's too wide, too broad to be discussed. Many different kinds and different forms of corruption. Lacking of knowledge to the elected official, their background, their action, their words, their story can be the key to access power in the government, can be used against us to rule the authority, to have the control all over, and to accomplish the selfish act towards the people of the nation. In today's time, the corruption is visible, too obvious, too blatant, but the government lack of action towards this issue will affect the supposedly to be given opportunity by the corrupt budget. the economy will slowly be affected. The people, the system in each department, and the action shown from the government can be copied of the people that can be start once again of the catastrophe of the lives of the Filipino in order to survive the daily life. Uneducated people during election will choose to sell their right to vote, will choose to sell their right and the dignity in order to feed their family for that day. The corruption will continue on and on. The cycle will continue in the way the lesser the opportunity, the lesser education, the lesser competition they will have when the time comes to change the leader. There will be no competition but them, the privileged people. During this time of pandemic, for example, supposedly the PhilHealth beneficiary will be helped by the missing fund, 15 billion fund. But no, they remained silent and had the face to continue their work in the government. Because of corruption, it damages the right of fair trial and add injustice in our country. And also because of corruption, the poverty will still continue to rise and the economy of our country will continue to decrease until there is no more hope to stand up. As a normal citizen, what do we need to do? We can help in the simplest form by practicing the honesty in our home, in our daily life basis. To use our voice to continue our influence and to educate others for this unfair treatment of the government to its people. And always keep the love for the country, for the people, even if government officials will turn us down. Do not stop until corruption will have its end for our country to continue to rise again. Thank you.